This episode of Speakers of Highlander is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master speakers, Meiji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebode Brood, Aurora Templeton, Psyche, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimsdaughter, Lily Black, Bob Sheezy, Mikto Rabentau, Anathis Moonsky, Pamela Isley, Elenriel Maximus, Codreth Novelist, Mira Miri, Celestial Nortrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur's Law, Viridan Durard, Cypup, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Webster Wolf, Severa, Zerke Barakil, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryak Forbear, Leighton Dehouse, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Framboise Zachara, Bergie, Fudge, Zephiel, Cafe, Gregorium Cartus, and AJ Brainswords. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Highlander. Good evening, Aorsians. Welcome to Speakers of Highlander, episode 414. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today, hopefully, by... hold on, we're going to linger on me for a second, because I realized that our frames aren't lined up. I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston and Mela Vanadar. Yay! It is August 10th, 2014.
Okay.
No!
You're a decade too early there.
2024. And it is a lovely, warm day. Actually, it's been raining all day.
Bomb's just come out.
Guys, are you hyped? The relaunch? I heard the original one failed. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Actually,
I like the idea that we're saying this a year after it relaunched.
that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Mail. I was just playing along with Mail. I didn't. I knew. I remember.
Oh, no, that's you knew.
Right. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Moonfire Faire 2024, and we're going to read through a lot of MogMail because we have such a massive backlog of MogMail that we need to get through it. Rollo's not here today. We did promise he'd be here. Unfortunately, work got in the way. That's just life. So that's why he's not here today. Hopefully he'll be here next week. He's not moving. We're not going through another moving arc. Don't worry. Stay tuned for the poster. We'll be answering question from the Syndicate. And that will be that, I think, because we are starting late today. All right. That's that out of the way. Let's start by getting into recent events. Oh. Okay, I think chat heard. Okay, everyone heard that. Okay, that's good. Sorry. I feel like nothing's working as it should today. Everything's wrong today. All right, welcome to recent events.
Wow.
In recent events, we have the Dawntrail soundtrack is coming to. Is it on streaming or is it just physical? This is just physical, right?
This is just
It's
the release.
physical and it's physical and streaming services, paid streaming services.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can buy it. It's not for like
Right.
You can buy it
Spotify
digitally.
novels. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the Final Fantasy XIV original soundtrack is set to release on Wednesday, 30th of October. The Blu-ray disc will feature 66 tracks from the Dawntrail expansion, including the main theme, and tracks from the Arcadion light heavyweight raids, accompanied by stunning visuals. Furthermore, certain tracks will be available from digital retailers ahead of the full album. So yeah, you can buy
I
it.
wonder how stunning the visuals are.
I hope they're promising stunning. Like
Stunning visual. I mean, God.
yeah, it's a big
So
promise.
is it like Windows Media Player's visualizer, but
Yeah.
for the the modern day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think so.
love that. I love that.
Yes. So go pre-order that. You get an item code for the Wind Up Zero minion. So that's cool.
This is
Pretty cool.
Well, it is cool. It's a weird minion to make for Dawntrail. And I also was feeling as if I would have thought a Wind Up Zero minion would be this year's Rising reward.
Yeah.
It made more sense. But what happened is they made the minion for the Endwalker soundtrack, second soundtrack, but they did it too late. And so they thought, well, we've got to release it for something. Let's chuck it in for this.
Yeah.
But don't worry, for the next expansion, there'll be like a Wooklamat Wind Up. Next expansion soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay. There's that's that. They do show the EPs here as well that also release digitally.
Yeah.
The Dawntrail EP, the first one, releases on August 6th. They all have like 5 or 6 tracks on them, or 5.
Yeah,
exactly.
they're extended, just small extended plays.
Yeah, so you can have a taste of the music early if that's what you want.
Yeah.
I don't think I would wait. I don't think I would do that. I think I would wait for the full soundtrack.
Yeah, this is
I like the full soundtracks. I really like the theme they've stuck to in terms of presentation. You know, like the logos and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made one catastrophic error in the EPs in that the alignment of the titles on the last one, because it's Solution 9 artwork, doesn't match.
Okay, well, we can't show this on screen, but like the EPs have the title on the bottom for the first two,
Dawntrail EP3,
and then for EP3 it's on the top. This is a digital release. It doesn't matter. It's not like gonna fuck up your shelf.
Do you like how the last EP has "Be My Honey," but it doesn't have the M4 song?
Oh, interesting.
They know what the players want.
God, because I'd argue that the M4 one is better, but oh well.
The M4 one,
I agree.
Yeah. But "Be My Honey."
Hey. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, whatever. Well, that's a whole other discussion. Get them if you
want them.
Yeah, get them if you want them. They're available on the. Well, actually, I should give you the EP release date. So EP1, or just EP, August 6th. EP2, August 13th, and EP3, August 20th. So there you go. Those are the dates in which they become available.
There's one each Tuesday, except for the Tuesday directly before the release of the soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. It was fun while it lasted, Shadow? Question mark.
Was it?
No.
It served its purpose. If it
did serve its purpose.
Why Dawntrail's launch was quite good.
Yeah. I'll read the post and then we'll discuss it, I guess. The European Logical Data Center Shadow and the Probationary Worlds released to mitigate potential congestion.
Mitigate
potential congestion following the launch of Dawntrail will be shut down on Tuesday, the 27th of August. We ask that players visiting probationary worlds using the data center travel system return to their home world before the closure. Please note that
that means is they'll be gone by the time this releases. This podcast gets its YouTube release.
Oh yeah, Friday the 16th of August. Yes, yeah. So please note that from Friday the 16th of August at 3 a.m. GMT, 4 a.m. BST, 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, it will no longer be possible to visit probationary worlds via data center travel. Data center travel requests to probationary worlds will no longer be accepted as of Friday the 16th of August. Did I just They're just repeating it. This is the schedule.
They've repeated the schedule.
Yeah, they're giving this whole schedule again.
Yeah, probationary worlds will then shut down on the 27th. We are planning a maintenance period to coincide with the closure. For further details, please refer to the upcoming announcement post. Characters visiting the Shadow Logical Data Center will be automatically transferred to their home worlds at the end of the maintenance period.
That's very important.
I'm going to assume that the maintenance period is to make sure that definitely happens.
Yeah.
Because if they delete a data center, a logical data center, not just like a cloud data center, with people on it, I think they want to make sure that they definitely get back to where they belong.
Yes.
Please make sure not to. There'll always be someone who remains.
Yes.
But try to
return
to your home world.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you do remain and something goes wrong, You were warned.
Okay, so there you go. That's oh yeah, sorry. So Shadow and the world's innocents, Pixie, Titania, and Tycoon are all going away.
No.
I
Oh.
never set foot on that data center. Never felt the need to, and from what I've heard, not a lot of people ever did. So I don't think it was ever.
I mean,
Yeah.
people did who wanted to play with people on the other data center because you couldn't data center transfer between chaos and light at the time.
True, that's true. Yeah. But there it goes. There it goes. Will we ever get another data center? Probably not, based on the traffic on that data center. Although I think it's a little unfair to test a new data center by making it a temporary one where you can't actually exist. Like you couldn't create a character on that server. It could only visit. So I don't know. That's it though. That's the end of Shadow.
Having a spillover server, like are they happy that Chaos and Light are enough now? Like, has the hype died down enough that it'll be fine? Because if everyone who's let's say 10,000 people went to Shadow and now they have to come back, then suddenly we'll be in the same situation.
Yeah.
I assume they know the numbers, but it's an unusual one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That's Shadow. Rest in peace. We barely.
It's a shadow of its former self.
God. Okay.
Oh. Poor Shadow.
Well, should we maybe discuss the fact that Shadow had such a short life? Like,
it was only for a certain thing. It was to ease congestion, and it did it.
I want to see
It's no materia.
I kind of want to see some numbers from this
That'd be
server.
nice. They never show us things like that.
I know.
I mean, how do you show numbers for it? Like, how does it?
I want to see like average visitors per day or something like that, just to know.
Can they count that number?
I don't know. I mean, surely it logs everyone who enters. Surely. I mean, everything is logged. Okay. A server logs everything, so I would assume so. But they never released numbers.
It did outlive the original Viper.
That's so true. Oh no. Okay, well there you go. Let it rest in peace, Shadow. We hardly knew you. Moving on. Oh boy, Final Fantasy XIV.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Well, one, you've misspelled Enix, but also two.
No, see, that's their stock name. It's Enix.
Yeah, ENX.
Yeah, ENX. Yeah.
And two, I'm pretty sure you've used this picture before, haven't you?
I have, and I could get it back out again.
Oh, I love it. Corporate Yoshi.
Yeah. For Final Fantasy XIV is once again the big earner in Square Enix, as I like to call it.
Square Enix.
There's an article here from PC Gamer that explains what's going on. The critically acclaimed MMO is a critical reason why the company made any profits at all. Square Enix is
approved that byline. I wouldn't have put critical in there twice.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that is weird. That is this is a journalistic piece. Why? They should have fixed that. Square Enix's newest games aren't doing so hot. Without any major releases in the 3-month period from April to June, its net sales dropped by 18.4% from the same period last year. Overall, however, the company still made a 250.1% operating profit, largely due to its mobile and MMO games, which means Final Fantasy XIV is one of the main things keeping its digital entertainment financials positive. In its latest earnings report, Square Enix says net sales and profits of its MMO games are one of the only things going up compared to the previous fiscal year. MMOs made up 68.4% of its operating profits, while its mobile games made up 31.1%. Interestingly, these numbers don't even include Final Fantasy XIV's latest expansion, Dawntrail, which launched just last month. It seems like the usual lull before an expansion didn't affect the 12-year-old MMO all that much, and I wouldn't be surprised if the next quarter sees the profits go up even higher.
You're pretty sure it's not 14 doing most of the work. Pretty sure it's still 11 holding the company afloat.
Remember
I mean,
when that was the case, though? When that was still
Yeah.
like the most
Yeah.
profitable game? God.
I mean, I just ran the math on those percentages. Between 68.4% of the MMO being operating profit and 31.1% being their mobile games, that leaves 0.5% for everything else.
That is
That's
crazy.
awful. That only shows you how staggering these values are for the other two markets, though, because we know like 16 did decently, not as well as they wanted, but decently.
Yeah.
And 7 Rebirth.
And 7, yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing still pretty well.
Yeah.
God.
In fact, Square Enix's MMOs have been doing well for a while, especially after the success of 2021's Endwalker expansion. They made a profit over the course of its last full fiscal year, ending in March 2024. Square Enix highlights Final Fantasy XIV and Dragon Quest X as the main games in the category. In May...
Oh, poor 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11's fallen off. In May, Square Enix said it would essentially reboot its game development strategy after releases like Final Fantasy XVI and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth failed to meet its profit expectations, which we all know
That's not accurate.
Yeah, go on. Why?
That's not accurate. I don't think that's an accurate representation of their internal assessment. I think that's an external assessment that people have made based on them saying, like, it didn't reach the higher end of their expectations, but it did reach their expectations.
Okay. Because we know that Square Enix always aims
They
too
don't
high.
really know what they're doing.
They aim too high for their games, but whether
They
that's...
don't know how to release things either. They have no idea what
That's
a release
true.
calendar should look like.
That is also true. Parts of the new strategy is to release its games on multiple platforms. Notably, in its last full year report that included both games, sales were okay, but weren't profitable due to higher development costs. Now, I'm not going to say same-day PC releases for both of those games would have prevented this.
Ooh, editorial.
But
Oh?
I'm not saying that either. Maybe people and their dog wouldn't have lined up to see a new shredded Aerith mod. You never know.
Maybe
I don't think you
everyone
need to
and their
read the
dog.
rest of this article, by the way.
Okay, this is all just from their point of view.
That's editorial now.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, they are correct in that if they'd released 7 Rebirth and Remake on PC, there'd have been higher sales, obviously. I
Well,
mean,
remember
just
that they've said that they're no longer going to do console exclusives. That's not a strategy that they're going to do anymore. So in the future, that's probably going to happen.
Yes, which makes me think that if that is the case, the amount of money that Sony covered on the production of 16 and presumably 7 Rebirth and Remake was not enough to counteract the lack of sales they received as a result of making them console exclusive.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Um,
Don't look into the Shredded Aerith mod.
Oh yeah, I refuse to click that link.
that is not happening. Okay. But that's that. We keep seeing this story every year, actually, around this time. That 14 is just keeping Square Enix afloat.
Yeah, and what do they put back into it?
I mean,
a few extra stuff here and there is great, but they need to do more.
There's also only so much you can do by giving extra staff. Like, at a certain point, it becomes unmanageable.
Create a whole task force for the Spaghetti Untangling project, so it doesn't interfere with the main game.
We have had a huge graphical update.
It's true.
Which is signs that they're putting money into stuff that... Because if they didn't have enough money or they didn't care enough for 14, they would have just kept the old engine running and just milked it dry, which a lot of
If they didn't think 14 was a long-term prospective for this company, they would not have done a graphical update.
They've also promised that
they want another decade.
That this is the first graphical update, implying that there are more to come. So yeah, there are signs that money's being spent. Are we getting enough? I don't know. I think we're doing well. 12, like the game turns 12.
The game's pretty
this month, or is it September? I never remember. August is relaunch. September is death. Yes, so it's August. Other games, and for smaller companies, at 12 years, that's usually when you start seeing them like backing off. They're like, okay, we're getting close to the end. We're just gonna add some cosmetic items, and we'll add some. We're not gonna do a whole full-blown storyline. They're definitely not getting a graphical update unless you're massive.
They're usually in a decline about now.
Yeah, which
and then in another like 5 years, they're gonna need to do like to try and get people back. But
some people might argue that we are in a decline now. Judging by
we are in a decline now,
comments.
we're at the very beginning of the decline, and so we're still doing very well at 12 years.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
So,
okay. So there you go. Square Enix profitable because of 14 again.
And their mobile games.
Yes.
Thank you, Ever Crisis.
Yes.
bring back Record Keeper.
Games
just
going.
release it as some sort of game that we can play forever.
Let me just
Why
say,
can't you just release it for £5?
Let me just say that the people that say that their old MMOs are still going strong. Going strong does not mean the same as getting like the amount of content that 14 is getting for like through
on
patches
such a regular schedule
and expansions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Large quality of life overhauls and stuff. A graphical update's a big deal for any MMO.
Okay, moving on. It's time to work our way through some MogMail.
Okay.
We will start off with this one from Mr. Wolf's Head, from Goblin.
Goblin? I don't think so.
Yeah. That's not
what do you
real.
mean you don't think
not
so?
a real server.
It's not a real server.
How dare you?
Okay.
Slightly cut off there as well, but that's fine. You can live with it.
Oh yeah. Fuck this day. This day must end soon. I'm gonna go to bed after this and just end. Okay, speakers, I invite you to walk with me here. So, there's a scene in the movie Zardos with an old man who has lived forever in a community of forever living old people. The little old man approaches another old man who is sleeping and shouts, paraphrasing, "Wake up, we forgot how to die." Spoilers for MSQ. I kind of feel like this scene is missing from our last zone.
Spoilers for Zardos as well.
Yeah. I don't trust Kafkiwa, not as a character, but as a storytelling device. She says, don't worry, these people are just memories, so it's totally cool to kill them. But she's one of them, proving they have volition, desires, and goals. They seem to be simply different from humans, but we treat them as less than because we need to kill them for a greater good. Somewhere, Emmet claps. For me, at least, the storytelling doesn't do enough to tell me that all the inhabitants of the final zone are unambiguously and unanimously cool with being deleted.
Unanimously.
Unanimously. We just do it. And I didn't like that this was our only way to wrap the story for a Warrior of Light. We delete children. Yeesh. If I can't tell if this was sloppy writing, complex storytelling, or a localization issue. What are your thoughts on the matter? Is this decision going to come back to haunt our characters, or is it just going to get hand-waved away? Are we the baddies? Best, Mr. Wolf said.
All right, not all of the inhabitants were cool with being deleted. Most of them didn't know it was going to happen.
True.
The whole point of this zone was meant to be this like very bittersweet. That it was one of. I mean, it's probably maybe my favorite zone in the end, like the storyline part of it, because they're all living in this golden haze of the glory days, living the perfect day over and over again and whatever. And you go there and wreck it all for them, and it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how angry you'd be, Mela.
It'd be horrible.
Yeah, you'd be pissed. So all you want is to relive the glory days.
Exactly. I don't think it's lazy storytelling in that. I think it'd been awkward for us to go around and go, "Are you okay with me deleting you?"
We didn't have time.
Yeah, that's true.
We were already pressed.
Yeah.
I think Kafkiwa understand. I think as a memory, an endless, whatever they're called, she probably in her heart of hearts wants to stay there and spend time with Erenville.
Yeah.
But she understands that this needs to happen, and she masks her sadness by saying, "Yeah, it's cool. They're all just memories. Well, it's fine."
Yeah.
A part of me thinks that, like, somewhere in the live stream, Emmett Selk is laughing to himself, having known that he directed us to dealing with this particular issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is something
The
we
side
had
quests
to do.
here go into it in
True.
some, like, a lot of the side quests are fulfilling their last wishes
Yeah.
and giving them peace and stuff, which is nice.
And they seem to be conscious of that and seemingly okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that might just be the ones that have particularly strong resonance to remain after the deletion of everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. But at the end of the day, the actions we take here aren't, I wouldn't say morally good, a morally good thing to do. We're made to do a bad thing for our perceived greater good.
Yeah. Well, the greater good being not having the world end.
Like, our world end.
Well, multiple worlds.
Yeah. The actual living people would die as a result to keep these memories alive. You know?
That ultimately this does match the messaging that we've gotten across multiple expansions, that doing things for the living is more important than doing things for those that are ostensibly dead.
Yeah.
But it makes you think.
It is.
The whole point was
it is a dilemma that's as old as time. You know.
Yeah.
Would you?
It does make you. And also, like, what is the difference between endless and Dynamis-based life?
That's a good point. Ultimate Thor gave us some thoughts on that. Now it's very similar, but it's sort of ether powered, but it's still like echoes, like shades of people.
Yeah. I don't think we're the baddies. We unfortunately had to do something.
But we're not.
Maybe we should have told Sveen about Dynamis, because it's pretty fucking magical.
Yeah.
I hate Dynamis.
Dynamis was it even mentioned in this MSQ? I don't know if it was. I don't remember it. I feel like I would have remembered it if maybe it was.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
No, yeah. Which is interesting considering how that sort of seems a little bit related, but all right. All right, moving on. Thank you, Mr. Wolfsaid. Next, MogMail comes to us from Vienti. Oh God, It's either Zakin or Shakin from Mateus. Hi, speakers.
Vienti Starbucks coffee size?
Yeah, it is. Hi, speakers. I hope you are all are having a lovely day and have remembered to do your weekly elite hunts. Have you?
What?
Have you done your weekly elite hunts?
Not this week.
I have not.
You mean my B rank? No, not this week.
I have not done my B rank.
I did a couple of them though. I've at least done like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have done one.
I'm good at staying on top of that.
Yogi loves nuts.
Yeah, he's a fucking dog for nuts. Regarding Alexandria, Solution 9, and Living Memory, I've been thinking about how strange it is that a piece of the original shard is still there. It could be explained by Alexandria being a sort of pocket dimension style thing, but I think the truth might be a bit more simple than that. We know that when a rejoining happens, the barrier between worlds is broken and ether flows from the shard back to the source, but theoretically, the Asians conducting the rejoinings would not really care at all about the planet themselves, right? Their ultimate goal was to rebuild Zodiark, and the pieces of Zodiark were from what we've seen consistently on the moon itself. Even in the 13th, with the scales entirely tipped towards darkness, the planet is still there, showing that it doesn't get entirely consumed in a calamity specifically. Plus, if the original goal of the Asians was to feed Zodiark ether to restore what they'd lost, having a ton of different sources of ether rather than one big one would, in my opinion at least, be the smart move. So my theory is that each of the shards, even the ones that have already been destroyed by the calamity, are still there physically, even if the people living on them have been destroyed. And that would mean we actually do have 13 full reflections worth of places to visit. Thank you for your time, and seriously, do your weekly hunts.
I mean, I don't know if
I'll
the
try.
13th can be used as an example of what is still there because it was never rejoined,
No.
unfortunately.
No, it
So the
wasn't.
existence of a planet still remaining there is not an indicator that the other shards still exist in any form.
The void is a
And the
failure.
13th still has
The
life
13th
on it, technically.
Yeah.
Similar to the first. The first is also failed in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that have actually been rejoined, I am convinced, no longer exist in any capacity.
We don't have much proof of this, but the one thing we saw, remember in Shadowbringers, I think, when Graha or the Exarch showed us this thing in the Crystal Tower, he showed us all the reflections and how they disappeared
merged into
when
the
they
soul.
got rejoined, except for the void, which just became like a dark orb. So I think they're actually gone. The void is different because that's their first attempt, and they just fucking fucked it up. So I think they're actually gone. The ones that
they're not. We know they're not. They're like the sort of pocket source dimension thing floating about somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense for them to jump back in. But we've seen devoid dead planets throughout. When in Ultima Thule you see them in the distance, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to assume the source, the reflections of the source are like that.
Yes.
And it doesn't really matter if they are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go to them.
What, to the destroyed?
You want to go
shards?
to a completely devoid of ether rock? It'll be like the Sea of Cloud, but spherical.
But spherical. Yeah, it'll be very empty. It'll be empty. It'll be barren.
Brown blob. It'd be horrible.
Honestly, at this point, living memory is essentially a pocket dimension in some form, whether it exists on a shard in any form or whether it exists only in itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as to what exists beyond what we can see on that. Like, how far beyond it is there still existence in living
that would
memory?
be interesting.
Yeah,
because there's a lot you can see in the distance.
That's true.
Like, it does go on a heck of a long way. Lots of big skyscrapers and stuff. It's only like that little section which is Nostalgiaville, and then the rest just looks like apartment buildings.
Yeah.
But when you go into the Strayborough Dead Walk, it does seem less solid. Like, it seems more ethereal in the same way as Sid's memory from during the Bosnia storyline.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that maybe it's possible there isn't actually that much beyond it.
Yeah, because
it has lots of broken electrode sections.
Yeah, you see, there's a point before the last boss, before you go into the haunted mansion thing, you can see the world sort of like disintegrating at the edges there. So, yeah.
The Strayborough Deadscape in itself is quite, or dead, whatever it's called, Strayborough Deadwalk. It's quite interesting in that it's its own little pocket dimension within the pocket dimension.
Yeah. It is.
But I guess you're not meant to think about it too much.
No.
It just got trapped.
Yes. That was like it was just a neighborhood within that area.
Got consumed. It was one of the fun places to go to, apparently.
Yeah. We don't. There isn't that much lore other than theory about what happened to the shards, so we don't actually know for sure, I guess. And
it would be very difficult for us to ever know unless they actually show us going there, which is, to be honest, quite comparable to real life. We can't prove things that we can't see or interact with in any way.
True.
I think I like that.
Remember that
it's one of the few parts in 14 lore where they you don't have to tell us everything.
Well, I think Mela, because Y'shtola that's her. If there ever is an arc, for Y'shtola, it's that her research into shard travel. We know that that's like what she's focusing on. So she might.
I'm okay with that.
We might
There's
learn
a possibility
in game.
Yeah, there's a possibility of that happening, but at least as of right now, I don't see Y'shtola ever putting any focus into trying to travel to shards that don't exist, as far as we know.
Because in research, why would she want to go to a world that is theoretically gone? You'd go to one of the existing ones.
But I'd rather her find out than we get the next lore book, and it's like it just gives us like this place. Used to be.
Well, no, they wouldn't give us an answer. Well, the lore book is in.
Exactly.
Universe. Like the people that are speaking in it, they don't necessarily what they say is not necessarily canon. It's just what they believe in game.
Yeah.
That's why I like how they've done the lore books for this.
Yeah.
But we can find out one day, maybe Stola. But
yeah,
she is setting up for a future expansion plotline.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Y'shtola. Rollo isn't here to
Defend her.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Vienti. Next, MogMail.
Venti Mochaccino.
Zanyan Blaze from Fairy.
Scream it. It's in capitals.
Fairy!
Thank you.
I know you've all probably heard this before, but I'll ask anyway. Do you find it odd that Highlander men have no eyebrows? I've heard it said that Alamegans would shave their eyebrows to intimidate their enemies, but not all Highlanders are Alamegan. I noticed that Highlanders from the 13th have eyebrows, for instance. When will Square Enix give Highlander men their eyebrows?
Well, they're not Highlanders,
They're not.
are they?
They're also not true eyebrows. I believe they're working within the system of the game, which allows you to paint on fake eyebrows as a Highlander.
Yeah.
True eyebrows. It's a funny term.
Yeah, I mean, it is
That's
weird.
just how they are.
It is weird that the default for Highlanders is to not have eyebrows when it's just a subset of like Highlanders that do. I mean, it's an Alamegan tradition. But
I'm sorry, but your character is an Alamegan if they have shaved eyebrows.
yeah.
I mean, it's also quite strange that people that are Highlanders that don't necessarily seem to associate with Alamego, whether or not they have ancestry there, like the Mandevilles, also don't have eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
They don't barely have clothes.
It's one of those things. It's strange that they haven't added it at any point.
It's not very it's a weird thing in an MMO to have such strange restrictions on your race choice. Like you can be a big burly man, but you've got no eyebrows, and you'll never have them.
Yeah.
Well, you can.
You can. There's one face paint option or feature.
You can have
through eyebrows.
Yeah. Because Rollo, when he used to play a Highlander on his main, had eyebrows. Not real eyebrows. He talked about painting them on.
But but there's only one option. We have at least 4 different eyebrows to choose from. Alamegans have one, and it's very. Oh, sorry, Alamegans. Highlanders have one, and it's very clearly paint. It's. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, canonically, based on the artwork for a previous Valentine's Day event, Bert, who is a Highlander, does have eyebrows, but you never see them in game.
Justice for Bert.
You never see them in game? Why? Because he's wearing the hat?
No, because I think it's either because of the hat or because his hair covers his his brow line. But I can't remember which of the two it is.
Are they real ones? Are they custom ones, or is it just the paint?
No, he doesn't have. He doesn't have any.
Oh, he doesn't have.
It's only an artwork that we see he has, and at least based on the artwork, they look pretty real.
Okay, I see.
Oh, but
I don't know why. Why do they have? So they don't have a. See, I have never made a Highlander in my life, so I've only but I have played around in the character creator once or twice, but that's a long time ago. Is there an eyebrow option for Highlanders? I don't
believe so.
I ain't a Highlander.
So they're missing, or maybe they're getting an extra.
They probably get they get muscle definition.
But so do Midlanders.
They get something else.
Shape of the brow. Okay, so it's it's eyebrows, but it's just the shape of the naked brow. Okay, I see. So that's very interesting.
Be angrier.
Yeah.
You are unfortunately speaking to the three of us who've never made a Highlander.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be better if Rollo was here.
Chat is confirming it is the brow bone shape. That does ring a bell. So it's like you are changing your eyebrows, but there's no actual eyebrows. It's just the brow itself. Okay. There you go. That's that. I want to jump in the notes. You can see.
Okay.
We're going to jump down to 12 in the notes, just so you don't get confused. Thank you.
Okay.
I've already scrolled past. We're going to do them because they're the most recent ones, and then we'll because they're time sensitive.
Thank you, Zenny and Blaze.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Very.
All right. Moving on. Next, MogMail is from a rare beast. Where am I? From Balmung. Dear speakers, I want to express a note of gratitude. I neither do nor have to agree with everything everyone on this podcast or in this community says or does, but I'm still honored to count myself somewhere amongst the speakers of X Network XIV community, because when it comes to strife or drama in the community, you all always approach it with empathy and care. Not to dredge up the voice acting drama once again. Oh no. But watching people on various social media smugly post about how the community is bad, actually, and this proves it, while entirely betraying that they don't actually care about the actual human being being affected, makes me appreciate you all the more. I'm writing this on tilt after thumbing through a Twitter thread where post after post is so sure they have the answer as to what is wrong with the community, but no actual support for the person affected, who is a part of said community. I was going to write about Seralgia or something, but cripes, dude.
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
It's been a
Thank
rough
you.
time.
It's been, yeah. There's a lot
Been rough.
It's a lot of people that are not going to be commenting on our episodes anymore. Let's just say that. Yeah. I think what's funny is that I could tell that a lot of the people that came into our comment section on the previous video were not people that were normally here. There were essays being posted like 5 minutes after the episode came up. And we weren't talking about like Wooklamat as a character, but that was what they were doing. Like it was the same copy pasta that we'd seen on the previous episodes where Wooklamat had been mentioned. So
We have provided our opinion on Wooklamat as a character.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. There's God. I have never had to moderate that much on this channel, so that was an experience. But yeah, there's a lot of freaks out there, but not in our comment section anymore. Goodbye.
No.
I don't know what
Thank
else to
God.
say. It's just
But the Zeraljar is
embarrassing.
pretty cool.
Seralja's cool. We love him.
Is he?
It would make a really interesting discussion on sort of like parental expectations, birthright, duty, that sort of thing, and how it can affect a person.
Yeah.
I think there's
Okay,
more to
that's-
say about him.
I mean, I do have things to say about Zeralja. I don't know.
I think he's an interesting character, and I think he gets done dirty because
Yeah.
I feel like they push him into a weird direction in some respects. I think we should have interacted with him more.
Well, I think part of the problem is he has 30 years of development that
That's
we're not
true.
there for.
Yeah, I just wish there was more background we could get on him more, or we could have had a chance to talk to him more.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he's not a bad guy in the early parts.
Well, the other
yeah.
one of the things about him that's annoying is that like he acts like his father gave him nothing when he was the leader of essentially Terrell's military.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's an odd one. He feels like he deserves more, but he actually has been given quite a lot. It's a strange one.
Yeah.
But he's an interest. He has more depth than the game seems to sort of showcase.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you go. Seralja, we've talked about him this a lot before as well. That Seralja was. I wish we got to see more of his development, but we might actually. There might be. We might learn more about him in upcoming patches.
Like when we're in the I don't remember if it was Warlord Door or Warcord, the mountain dungeon when he like blocks our path. It's kind of
Oh yeah.
Like he didn't mean to do it. It's like you have to find another.
No.
way.
Yeah.
It was it's a little bit there was something there where it's like he didn't want to fuck us over.
Well, it's hard to
particularly.
tell because he might have just been
he
very
says-
calculated. I don't know.
Well, that's possible. But I don't feel like he's that kind of a person.
No.
I feel like he's very...
He wanted to win on his own merits.
Yeah, I think he's very straightforward in how he presents himself, ultimately.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay, well we have more MogMail. I don't know how much time do we have. Well, we don't have much time actually. Should
can do what you want. I don't know how much there's to say about the summer event.
There isn't
I mean,
much to say.
I think we can do the next two because I don't think we have much post show.
That's
Also
true. I can already tell that I can't open it on stream. The MogMail because it's showing the wrong name on the opening. So I'm just gonna read this as it is. This is from we're doing 14. This is from Honey Rider from Zervan. Hi speakers, hope you're all well. As a trans man, I deeply appreciate the discussion last week about what's happening in the community. So thank you. I do yearn for the simple days of billboard drama, however. Bring it back. Yes, those were the days. Anywho, on a lighter note, I have a fun question for you. I thought about what you were saying last week about holidaying in Eorzea and wondered, if you could go anywhere on the planet, explored or unexplored thus far, where would you go and who would you take? Is it Asahi to Living Memory, Gaia to Dalmasca? Just a fun one for you. All the best. Thank you, Honey Rider.
That's a great question.
Yes.
That's a very good question. I mean, I do really want to explore Solution 9.
Like the further parts of it?
Yeah. I mean, it's massive.
That's
and also,
true.
just
all the
like
different floors
technologically,
as well, yeah.
it's technologically very impressive. Like, one of the things that like I would be unappealing about exploring most of Aetheris is that it is technologically behind us. So that makes it like more scary in a way. While Solution 9, I mean, the scary thing about Solution 9 is they seem to have no fear of death. Like the fact that like work sites are not designed to prevent people from dying because they inherently have more than one life.
Yeah.
I think that's quite terrifying when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know, I think I'd go like... Obviously, Mirror City is up there. Just because it's so ingrained in the lore. But like, there's more of Othard I want to go into. There's like that weird... I think like the mountain, like north of the mountain range at the top, there's like that weird bluey rock area. Which looks quite interesting, and also just the jungle, the Golmore jungle and stuff to the south. There's a lot of Othard that we never got to explore, and I'd like them to expand on that. And obviously, we need a fuck ton more Ilsabard.
That's
we can't have just Garden.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just Ilsabard. I also want to see more of Shaktaral, because currently we have 2 zones, and one of them has been significantly tainted by another shard.
Yeah,
that's true.
True.
I was so expecting to meet the Wallachie.
That we can still meet them. That's a
I want to.
Maybe patch story. There's so much potential in the patch story to like. Yeah.
I mean, we will get a Blue Mage update at some point during this expansion. So
true as well. And seeing as Beastmaster's coming out this expansion, it's interesting because both of the limited jobs will be tied, like have connections to Terral.
Do we know that the Beastmaster will be tied to Terral?
No.
Well, no, that's true because it could be Lion, wherever he is.
Because
from.
most of the lore we have about Beastmasters ties it to Dalmasca currently.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Because we're getting Dalmasca in the next expansion. That's right. Don't get us talking about Dalmasca again. What did you say, Mela?
Where would you visit?
I'm gonna take Hoary Boulder on a trip to Gelmora. We're going on holiday to Gelmora, Hoary Boulder.
I want to take. What's the name of that? Like the Dalmascan refugee that lives like in constant like fear in Eastern Lenosha. What's his name?
Oh God.
Dress. Thank you, chat.
Yeah.
I want to bring him to Solution 9 because I just think he'll be just like constant like terror.
God, you're terrorizing this man. All right. Come on, man. There you go. Thank you, Honey Rider. Thank you to everyone for sending in MogMail. You can, of course, send in more MogMail at speakersv.com/MogMail. Now then, Moonfire Faire.
Oh, wait.
Ooh.
What a journey this one was. Twists and turns.
Yeah, this one was wild.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To be serious,
Yeah.
this is probably some of the least plot that any seasonal event has ever had.
I fully agree. Here's the thing, though. This is one of those events where people will try and dress it up by saying, it was a nice, light-hearted story. You know, it was at least
very light-hearted.
There was nothing.
I mean, to be honest, again, Mela, I liked how light-hearted the story was. I wish there was more to it.
Yeah.
But I liked how stupid it was. I thought the idea that we were just chasing after. I like that we only had to catch 2 as well.
Yeah.
Like there were a total of 7, and then we only involved ourselves with 2.
Yeah.
That was also strange. But I just think the idea of catching like drunken cactuars is quite amusing. But I wish they did more with it.
Oh my god!
It could have been a lot better.
I just saw this in chat. Cafe, either Cafe is just me brained, or like because I saw that too. There's when you catch the one of the cactuars, he's standing in front of 2 bowls, and it makes it look like a penis. And I thought,
oh my god!
I want to screenshot this and post this in the speakers chat. But I know I'll just get like grumbles because it's me, and that's all I see. I always see penises.
Well, it's because you did that already during the expansion when you saw cactuses like that throughout, like Urkapacha.
They look like penises. Okay, well, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we there are monsters afoot. Monsters around Casa del Sol, and basically, it just turns out to be drunk little cactuars that an Ul'dan lady has brought with her as she's visiting.
Or something. She's rich.
Because Eorzea has no rules about importing dangerous animals.
Well, it's the same realm, you know. Would they have border control between the city-states? I don't know how that works.
Well, they have imports and customs and stuff in Limsa. That's
true. Limsa does, but they do outside trade though. I think that might be why.
I mean, but they also have like, the other city-states have laws about just like beast tribe people not even being allowed into their city-states.
That's racism.
Like they do have those kinds of. That is racism.
That's just racism.
But the fact that that's more of a problem than like these non-native creatures to this region are just allowed in.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a free reign.
Yeah. And she's visiting oh god, what's his name? I always forget his name.
Gigaruju. On his invitation. So we find just a spine, like a little needle, and we have to investigate.
Did you say that it was a drunken weaver?
No, I did not.
No, but I did do the second funny option, I think.
What was the second funny option?
There was a second funny option. It was before that one, I think. I don't remember though.
There was some option where we were like, so we didn't come out.
Oh yeah.
Well, it turns out that they are.
She's named them Cacti and Cactostifer or whatever, and they've got great names.
Yeah, they
do have good names.
They have good names.
But the plot thickened because once we'd found the first one and we'd handed in the quest, the fan cools their head down.
Yes.
This year they've got an Eastern twist on Moonfire Faire.
When
not only do they have the polar bears, Lukiel, from 1 year, but they also have the course from another year, the jumping course.
Yeah.
And they have something else from another year. But now they've got this as well.
They've got something else from another year.
A Namazu. We didn't even meet the fucking Namazu who brought them.
No, that's true. They're just standing in the... Like, it's very weird.
I thought he was the monster.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too.
And also, what do new players think who have not gotten to Stormblood?
Yeah.
They see these fucking just like... These fish people just fanning these half-naked men, and you can't even talk to them.
It's just what's got to be. There's no explanation. We don't speak to them. And when we go and talk to the first scared woman who shouted monster, she's like, there was a pervert behind those rocks. I mean, it has to be the Namazu.
Yeah.
Peeping on me. But no, it was a cactuar.
Yeah.
And we've waffed his head, and he starts being drunk.
Well, this follows this pattern that like when in doubt, bring in something from Othard. That's usually how they do it now.
It's mysterious and Eastern.
The mysterious Eastern customs.
Ooh, they're so strange over there. Let's bring it over and have a go on it. But don't worry, the plot thickens. Once we'd done that and we'd handed in the first quest, we then go and do the emote to 2 cactuars, and then the quest's over.
Yeah. Well, the twist here is
shocked.
The
twist. It was so shit.
Okay. Well, the twist is kind of funny because we forget to mention that they're like enraged or like they're weird. They're dancing and there's like an aura coming off their heads. We're like, oh, they're possessed. But it turns out that Gigaruju
he gave them some wine.
He gave them wine, and they're drunk off their tits. That's what's
cool,
happened.
But...
I mean, that's funny.
Yeah,
but it feels like, and then something else happens, but nothing else does.
If you read the plot line, you would think this is like Hildebrand tier quest line, but it didn't have a single cutscene that made it like.
It's
Hildebrand
like
quality.
if you ordered
like it wasn't funny.
No,
it was just a good idea.
It's like if you ordered a Hildebrand quest on Wish. You know,
yeah, it's very disappointing.
I mean, the other thing is, like, it feels like after you find the 7 cactuars, it feels like, well, we use these fans. The solution wasn't actually, like, supernatural in any way that we had to solve. And then there should have been an actual supernatural thing that we solved with the fans. Yes. But no, that's just the end of the quest.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked was the Ellison man or whatever you're with. Just bluntly says, like, you're right, we must avoid extermination as a first resort or whatever. I thought that was quite funny. But other than that, I was very unimpressed.
I will also say, it is weird to me that Bodafwan appears throughout this whole quest line without the other woman that he normally appears with. Instead, he appears with Pobyan. I don't remember her name.
Her name is
Pobyana or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, who she has been involved in previous Moonfire Fairs and Rising events. But why is he not paired? Why is he not paired with the person with Hilda Lana? I think her name is. Where's she?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? Remember, they're short staffed this year or something. I don't even know. It's a record turnout.
Yeah. Well, I will say the usual. You know, you can walk around and you'll see a lot of people.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's
journeys. Nice being there.
The Aliapos are there.
They're interacting with all the previous events. There's the polar bears, there's the ice cream, and there was the baby shark.
Yeah.
I like all that.
Like Roswin and her and Carvalane, like that love.
They don't say anything though. They're just sitting and standing there.
Yeah.
They'd have had to put in like multiple dialogue trees depending on your progress, probably. So it's a lot.
Yeah, and the Fisher dude is in like the bushes.
He's looking for his little shark.
Yeah, his little shark, and the shark is up by the Aliapos.
The Island Sanctuary. Robots are there. If you've done that.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
I saw that on. I don't know if I saw
wander around and find more people. I didn't notice some of these. Oh yeah, Alpha and
Alpha. Yeah, they're right. You see them actually in the.
They're in the background of my cutscene. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's forced.
Yeah, they're always there.
And Sicard and Emanalane are at the bottom of the tower again, along with Tonoa, and Ruffleteer and his sister are showing almost. Well, it shows they're more willing to reveal the entrance to the top of the tower now. Ruffleteer is shown like almost trying to jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, he'll make it one day.
One day. So the rewards are the emote, which is not persistent.
Yeah, so not very good.
Why are they so afraid of persistent emotes? I don't understand it. I
don't know. And then it's the bouncing bombs tape.
The bouncing bombs.
Which is quite nice, to be fair.
It is.
Although I expect it to be interactable, so you can make them bounce or stop bouncing, but they just bounce forever.
Yeah, they are a little... I've put them in the house, in the FC house. They are a little aggressive in the way they bounce.
I knew you'd use that word. I just like... it's true, though.
Yeah.
It's an accurate description of how they behave.
So be prepared for that. It's a lot. But yeah, that's
I
it.
thought they'd be smaller.
This was a really tiny event.
This
It
was a
wasn't
tiny
very.
event.
I mean, you know, all forgiveness for just coming out with the expansion, all that shit. You know,
Yeah.
whatever. But you have to, you know, take it as what it is. It was not very good.
What did we
No.
get last year?
What did we
Let's
get
look
last
up
year?
old
That's
Moonfire Fairs.
I never remember.
2023, we got the Phoenix Riser shit last year.
The Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the outfit. Hot Bird Summer.
Oh, right.
It was Hot Girl Summer. And then the year before that, we got a 5-piece summer outfit, beach outfit with or to the bonfire. And then the year before that, we got
we don't have to go Mela. There's been
Okay, we don't have to keep going.
12
this is fine.
Moonfire Fairs.
Yeah, but the past 3 years have been quite significant compared.
I mean, this is. I mean,
Yeah,
if
this
we were
is-
to put this on
Yeah.
tier list, I'm not going to say F. It's not the worst.
No,
but it's not much. It's probably not much better than an A, if that.
No.
Yeah.
This was rough. This
It's probably an E.
This is one of the worst Moonfire Fairs, I think. Weakest, I should say.
It probably is. In fact, I
Yeah.
think this probably would be because we normally rate Moonfire Faire like at least average or above. I think this has a very good chance of being the worst one.
Yeah, I think they're leaning
It's even
too
worse
much.
than the Firefall Fair.
They lean too much Firefall Fair. That's 1.0, right?
Yeah, I know.
So a 1.0's events were not exciting.
It's some
Although Firefall
Cracking
Fair
artwork.
was pretty good, like in terms of like what you can do in 1.0.
No, it had a lot. From what I've read, it had like actual. It seems like the one.
It was
1.0
more
events seemed like they were
involved.
super in depth. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot
Except
to them.
for the ones where they just phoned it in, ring the Starlight Bell, and then get a branch as a reward.
Okay.
When they started resorting to just the bells, it was over.
That's the end of it.
But Firefall Fair, that was when you actually had to do the bomb stuff. You had to like chase the bomb and lure it. It was a whole thing. Anyways, last year, we got the superhero outfit. That was that whole
That
thing.
was
So that
cool.
was way more involved than this. So it's a bit of a weak one today. I feel like they're leaning too heavily on the but we've got the jumping puzzle.
Yeah.
People are gonna do that.
Mm.
That's the event.
Unless
fair.
you're going to change it up a lot, you can't use it more than like twice, I think.
Right. Well, I think they can
I
never
think they can
not
keep doing
have-
it there, having it.
No, they can
there.
always have it, but they can't
It's
that can't be
expected.
the only thing.
Mm.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
the haunted house at Halloween having new NPCs and stuff is always good, but it's like they've stopped using that as the event. For the
Yeah.
most part,
Yeah.
unless they change it up.
There's no actual reward for getting to the top other than
They're not even a minion this year. Like,
No,
No.
unfortunately not.
zero reward.
yeah. This is just post expansion launch, so hopefully
is what
next
it
year
is.
we will get
Yeah,
a
it's
much
not
better
the-
one.
Hopefully they'll have put some effort into the Rising. We'll see
Yes.
come the end of this
Yeah.
event.
True.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, well there you go. Not a great review for Moonfire Faire this year. But it is what it
For the
is.
fun of it, obviously.
Yeah, there's still the jumping puzzle. That's still good, if not infuriating.
It's infuriating.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
well,
I've gotten to the top 3 times now. It's less exciting for me.
that's true. It doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
Well, it changed in the past, I think, a little bit.
It adds some.
It did
like,
change. They added the
shortcuts
bomb
every now and then.
sections.
Yes. But that's that, folks. That's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Hopefully with Rollo as well. We'll be back tomorrow. Georgi's not. We're gonna be. No, Rollo will be back tomorrow. Sorry, it's just having the realization. I was like, oh my god, it's just going to be 2 of us tomorrow. No, Rollo will be back tomorrow. But Georgi will not be here tomorrow. So me, Mela, and Rollo will be doing Medieval Dynasty for those that remember those streams. So make sure you catch that tomorrow. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, links in the description. Remember to send us MogMail, speakersofheidland.com/MogMail, and be cool. Bye.
And